everybody, welcome to Behind the Camera Quick Cuts. This is a side series of Behind the Camera with Andy Games, where I stick to the original nature of the show, where I celebrate the streamers, the content creators, talk about their journeys, what got them to where they are today. My guest today is a returning guest to not only Behind the Camera with Andy Games, but Behind the Camera Quick Cuts in Logaaaaan64. Logan, how are we doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm okay. No, I'm good. Thank you for having me, man. Sorry, we were talking about awkward conversations earlier. I'm doing really good, man. It's nice to be back. How are you doing, man?
It is so good to have you back. And yeah, man, I'm doing good. So obviously it's been a few months since we've had you on the show. I think the last time that we had you on, we were talking about the Co-op Cup that you hosted closer to the start of the year. And obviously it's been a very eventful few months since then. Lots happened. First of all, you made Twitch partner, which is an incredible achievement. Congratulations.
Thank you. It feels nice to feel validated for all my hard work.
Of course. Now, of course, don't really have to go into a lot of detail surrounding that. Like, of course, you know.
Just for the cliff notes, people, there's been a bit of drama surrounding the entire thing, which took a little bit of the wind down of the sails. But at the end of the day, I'm happy. It is what it is. Got to move on.
That's it. And like, as long as you're happy, regardless of all that, it's still an achievement nonetheless, and it's something I think regardless that you should be proud of, because I can tell you for certain your viewers, they 100% are, regardless of what happened. But also with this, you're going into PAX in a few weeks time. I think about 3 weeks time, is it? You're going to be speedrunning at PAX, which is a much bigger improvement than what you did last year when you applied. Someone else got it, unfortunately, but now you're taken to the stage to do a speedrun. So tell us about this.
So it's been one of like my huge goals. So like when I started like streaming and speedrunning especially, I had a few things I wanted to do like in terms of overall forever. And a lot of them were like time goals for like Mario 64, like, sub 2 hours, 120 stars, things like that. But one of them was to like perform at a live event and like speedrun, like, and raise money for charity and stuff. So I'm excited that when I applied, that I got in. Since then I've gotten way better too. Like my PB has increased a lot. So I think I can get like more comfortable with it, because they expect me to do it, I think in an hour, 70-star run. But yeah, on the 11th, is that right? Let me check. Sorry. On the Friday, the 10th of October, 2:40 p.m. in Melbourne, I will be speedrunning 70 stars in front of people live. You should be there. It'll be really cool. But yeah, apart from that, I'm still invited as a content creator, so that we'll be walking around and like doing the fun stuff. But because I got that second pass as a speedrunner, I'm bringing my wife too, so she can come for the first time ever, see PAX, check it out. I'm excited about it too, man, because I went last year by myself and it was a bit lonely.
Yeah.
So it'd be a nice change of pace.
Of course, that'll be awesome. Like, and how do you feel then about the aspect of performing live in front of people, not just on a computer, but with people watching you live on a stage?
Well, I think it's going to be different. So I've tried to prepare as much as I can. It does make me nervous in terms of like, how do I feel about it? Nervous. But I think out of everything I've done for the past like nearly 3 years, it's been preparing me a little bit. Like, the majority of people who watch what I do, because it is mostly speedrunning, it's mostly explaining it to new people who've never done it before. So I think I'm pretty okay with that aspect of it. I just got to like memorize which parts to say, hey, do you want to read donations during this part or whatever it may be? But yeah, it should be good, man. I'm quietly optimistic, and I'm glad it's happening on the Friday too. I would have preferred, like Saturday prime time, but like it'll be done with like super early in the day, and then the rest of the thing I can just enjoy it, or revel in sadness that I cooked it. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I think it'll be pretty free, pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that is a really good thing for it in terms of timing, because you got the rest of the weekend, and if anything, that really can only go in your favor, because chances are the people who will have seen it, who might not necessarily have seen your streams before, it could also help bring you sort of more eyes onto what it is that you're doing.
Yeah. Any new Australian people who like find me is always like a bit exciting, especially if they're kind of local. It's like, oh wow, that's cool. But yeah, I'm gonna be dressed in stuff like this that has like my logo. I've got a reset on my back as well. But like throughout the whole weekend, and I'm gonna be handing out little Mario coins that look like this. Sorry, I got props and everything.
No, of course.
That look like this,
Oh,
little
dude.
gold Mario coin. And on the back, I won't show you, but on the back, it'll have my QR code. So people can look up and be like, who is this guy? I got a cool coin. Boom, all my socials, streams, Instagram, all that sort of stuff. I think it's a cool way. So if I get a photo with somebody, bam, you get a coin on the Instagram. That later that day, you'll see a picture of us together. So it'll be cool.
Brilliant. I think that's like such a professional way to do it. Like, and obviously it kind of fits the bill with the level that you're at now. Like, I mean, it's kind of past the stage of just doing it for fun, essentially. Like, it has become a bit more of a professional endeavor in terms of you're at the point now where your growth is becoming a lot more, I don't want to say important, but in terms of where you're at now, being a Twitch partner and doing these events, there's more to it than just kind of it being a hobby on the side now. Would you agree?
100%. A lot of people I met the first time around, and I found this out a little bit of not tea, but I found out there's a lot of people who get to a certain point in their social media who get the contacts, sorry, to get invited places, and then they just stop making content. They just keep getting invited to these things. They maybe not put stuff out for 6 months, a year. A lot of people I met last year that were listed as content creators hadn't streamed for 6 months. And I'm like, wow, like, touch wood, life happens, but they just, because they didn't want to, they didn't have a child, they didn't lose their job or anything. They're just like, no, but they'll obviously keep doing it. So it's, I think it's a cool way to like grow a community, like IRL sort of thing as well. I've got a lot of people who I'm excited to just meet for the first time, which would be really nice. Get a few people together. But yeah, I think it's this would be a cool approach. And if it doesn't work, I learn something, big deal. I get some cool coins out of it.
Yeah, of course. Like, I think there's really nothing to lose in terms of it. So with the 70-star run that you're doing, do you have a particular time that you would like to get, like, or like a specific time bracket you would like to get that is below an hour, just
Yeah,
in case it
I
kind of maybe
definitely
goes tits up
would.
or something?
Like, so like, I think if I have massive stuff ups, even if I die on all of the 100 coins at least once, I can still do under an hour.
Mhm.
Because I tested it offline. I was just like, cool. And I got like 99 of the coins. I just jumped off the map and I was like, cool, just in case. Because that's the most of the part where I'm probably going to cook it, if I'm being real. But I'd love in person to do like a 55, like anything 55xx or lower. I'd be so happy with. Maybe even PB. You never know. What
Yeah.
if it happens? If it doesn't, that's to be expected. But it could motivate me in a way I've never had before as well. I might be like really pressured to play because I've never had that sort of pressure. Most people I've played in front of live is like 3 people.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's always been like a party trick, like, oh, show us this or do this. And they're just like, wow, I could never do that. And then we move on and we do whatever else.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. So then will this be being streamed by PAX itself? Like, will it be able to watch live, or what's the sort of crack with that?
Absolutely. So Oz Speedruns are the company in Australia who run the equivalent of like GDQ in Australia. They're the ones who are actually hosting this. So they've signed up with PAX to run the entire event. They bring everything. They're even bringing the capture cards and everything. All I got to do is bring my console and my controllers. And they're like, we'll do everything else for you. But yeah, they'll definitely have a stream running at the time that runs for the entire event, the entire day. So I think it's from, 7 or 9 a.m. in the morning till like 7 or 9 that night. They've got a bunch of different runners doing a bunch of different games. You should check the schedule out online for anyone who's watching or watching this back. There's a bunch of, a bunch of cool games, like even like Snowboard Kids. There's a speedrun for that. Like, there's so many games you maybe thought, how do people speedrun this? Can you speedrun it? That you might see. I know for sure I spent a lot of time last year just at the speedrunning stage. It was just fun. I was just like, oh, that was the first time I ever saw a live Simpsons hit and run speedrun. And now I run the game. Like, it's things like that. I'm like, oh, this seems doable. This doesn't seem too bad. And then, next minute you're obsessed.
Well, yeah, and that's interesting as well because obviously you're known more or less exclusively for being a Mario 64 speedrunner, but in recent times you have also branched out into doing different games like you just mentioned, Simpsons Hit and Run, DK Bonanza, but these games you seem to have done more so than like other games that you might have picked up a while ago, the likes of like Yoshi's Story or Mario Odyssey, for example. Like, you seem to be sort of sticking to these. Do you find that there's a little bit more enjoyment with these other games that you've started to pick up lately, or is it maybe a fact that they're so new to speedrunning, or what would you say there is with that?
So for Donkey Kong Bonanza, I first picked it up as quick as I could because it was a brand new Nintendo original platformer, and I wanted to be one of the people at the start, try and build momentum from it. Like, I'll just be straight up. If I stream it day one it comes out, even if the stream is garbage, I have clips I can put out for the
Mhm.
next few days of a brand new game that people are like, oh wow. And that helped a lot. I got pretty cool clips out of it. And then from there, I just got really into the movement. But yeah, I've definitely been playing things lately more that are like a bit more enjoyment based. Like I
Mhm.
entered my first ever like big boy 70-star tournament not too long ago, and my entire goal for that wasn't to win. It was just to see if I could compete with people who call them, like, not call themselves, but who are more serious runners, I think, who like take the game a bit more seriously. Oh no, than me. Let me fix my camera. I knew it was going to happen.
It's funny because you did
Ah,
mention that just before, but
there we
that's all
go.
good.
I'm
That's all
back.
good. That's the beauty of doing it
Um,
live, folks. That's the beauty of doing it live.
exactly. But yeah, no, so and I did through that, and I actually played against someone who had like a few minutes better PB than me, and I was ahead for most of the race until until I made a mistake. But that to me proved I was like, oh, I'm actually kind of good at the game. But grinding a lot, especially with that and League, which is like a month and a bit thing where people enter and just try and PB across Mario 64. It does suck the fun out of it a little bit. So it's been really good, like playing Castlevania Symphony of the Night, playing Simpsons Hit and Run. I did Mario 2 the other night, just exclusively that, like for a stream, and I liked it. I thought it was good fun. Very rage inducing, but I mean that's neither here nor that happens. I'm passionate.
Yeah.
I'm excited about the runs.
Well, that's it. Like, what is speedrunning without the odd crash out? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
obviously you have like your rage games, but speed, if you try to speedrun anything, anything can be a rage game. That's just like kind of something that happens.
That's true. That's true. People like to say it's like what do you call it? Someone like, "Oh, why are you doing this? Why are you like hamming it up for like content and clips?" It's like sometimes you just get annoyed, man. Like it's not always for a clip or for this and that. Sometimes you're just genuinely annoyed that something that you've practiced a lot you think should be easy, and then all of a sudden you miss it, and you're like, "What did I wait? Did I waste 2 hours of 2 years of my life?" Like 400 things go through your head, and you're like, "Oh no." But yeah, I think there will be still more in the future of stuff I do want to run, even if it's for like October, all of October this year. I'm doing all spooky games, and
Mm,
it's like I've never done that before, but
yeah.
why not? Except for around Mario time, like a time the live event. But apart from that, it'll be all spooky stuff. I'm
Yeah.
sure there's spooky Mario games too.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. 100%. Now, would you say that like being able to sort of feel comfortable in doing all these different things comes from now that you are a partner on Twitch, that you can do these things? There's no like added pressure on kind of having to sort of stay consistent with what you're doing for to meet the criteria sort of thing.
Absolutely. Now, without a doubt. So when it came time to like push for partner, Mario 64 is what I'm known for, as you mentioned. So a lot of my viewership, the biggest stuff came from playing Mario 64. So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the time, I would run Mario 64 because I knew it would get numbers, even if I didn't like it or I didn't feel like it that day. And I'd eventually start enjoying it because I do love the game. That's why I've played it for thousands of hours. But yeah, now that that's all done, I don't really mind. Like if my viewership takes a big dip, I don't mind because like I've I when I set out to do something and it happened, which is great.
Yeah.
But I can now just sort of relax. Like, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I've proved it's possible. And that's all again, it's the same sort of thing as the 70-star tournament, just to prove I can do something is all I really need. Um, I'm not really like I never plan on doing this for like a full career,
Yeah.
because I don't see it like feasible. But people do push for that, and mad respect to them. But like I like the idea of proving I can do it like as good as someone who wants it that way. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, there's been a lot less pressure to just play whatever I want. Wait for the paint drying stream coming soon.
Joe, it's actually very funny you mentioned the paint drying thing, because it's a very, very quick story that my cousin told me back in the day that, so for context, he's in cybersecurity, and a friend of his told him about something that he had done. He had hacked into Steam and put up a game, Paint Drying Simulator.
No
And
way.
yeah. So he put this game up, Paint Drying Simulator, left it and emailed Steam immediately, being like, "I've done this, this, that, and the other. Put this game up. Here's how I can, And this is like what they call unethical hacking, basically, just so
Yeah.
people can just kind of force work out of companies by doing that." So he puts this game up, creates a new Steam account to see if the game works. He's able to download it, and it works 100%. And Steam didn't do anything over the course of this entire weekend until he sent them another email on Monday morning somebody randomly picked it up, and then that account that he posted it from got just suspended or suspended permanently. That was it. Because they were
Oh
just like,
wow.
nah, yeah, that's all they did. Because their security team is only Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. So
That's pretty standard. That's
yeah, yeah.
working in like areas that have cybersecurity and stuff like that. I know for sure. We have people who are on call,
Mm-hmm.
but obviously for them it wasn't that important.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Um,
100%.
but yeah, wow, that's kind of cool to know. Do
But
you reckon you
yeah,
can hack
yeah.
it and put up like my run coming soon?
But yeah, just like on the just on the mention of paint drying, but I have to say, like, it is nice to see you in the position that you are in now, where it's like you feel like you can just do whatever. Because I know we've talked in the past, and like you said, that you kind of felt like there was an obligation to do certain things within the realm of Mario 64, because that's what obviously you were going for, a particular goal. And like it must be a breath of fresh air to just be like, one day it's like, obviously I know you do your schedule, you'll plan it out a week in advance of what you're doing, but being able to just pick a different game, be like, okay, on Thursday I'll do Castlevania, for example, because I've got the means, it's exciting, it's something different, and not be weighed down by the aspect or the potential of low viewership as a result.
Yeah, exactly. And like it sounds a little bit um not vain, I think, but like a little while ago, even during like partner push and stuff, I decided to at one point just to turn off my viewership. Like I never
Mm-hmm.
want to see how many people are watching me, anything like that. And since then, it has been amazing
Yeah.
because I think a lot of people, especially with streamers and stuff, if you're live and you're playing to, let's say, I don't know, even 10 people, then you see it drop down to 7 or 6.
Yeah.
You think, I'm doing something wrong. I need to change this. You start worrying as you're streaming. And like it doesn't really reflect well because when you try and adapt, either you'll just go back to something you know works and be less happy, or you'll try and make what you're doing more exciting because you love it more. And if people just aren't interested in that, because that just happens, you'll feel worse about it. Like the
Mm-hmm.
thing I want to share doesn't mean anything to anyone else. So I think, yeah, now I'm at the point where I've sort of the burden of having to play one game for a long time has been lifted, which is really cool. And I still will play it. Like I still
Yeah.
love it. I loved even just doing random no reset runs and things like that. But I think even just before this, when I was doing like Sonic, like just for a month, I had so much fun.
Yeah.
Like it was just good to just sit and play Sonic. And I still haven't finished a run of Sonic. I got to the last level and died, but you know what? That's okay because we'll get there and it'll be really good.
Oh god. And for those who have tuned into Logan streams for longer than 6 months, the same thing happened the last time this was attempted. It was a different Sonic game. I think it was Sonic Adventure 2. Was it the first time you played, or was that the more recent one?
I'm trying to think what it was.
Because it was a different Sonic game,
But
but the exact same thing happened where you get to the final boss and you game over.
oh, it was Sonic 2. It was
It
Sonic
was
2,
Sonic
the one
2.
after this one.
Yeah.
I went to this the first one because I thought it'll be easier. I should be able to do this. And with respect to myself, I got mostly there of no strats, no looking nothing up. So I'm like, I'm gonna be cool with this. But I like the idea of setting the arbitrary goal of, can I beat Sonic under 30 minutes, under, whatever it may be. So that's the first goal. And then after I get a run on the board and I'm cool, it's on speedrun.com, I then look up stuff and I'm like, how much can I actually learn?
Yeah.
I think that's why I'm getting so annoyed with running new games because I'm trying to look up strats. And then when I can't do immediately, I'm like, oh, the game's stupid. And it's like, no, dude, just relax.
But then I think when you've been doing something for so long, like, I mean, you've been speedrunning Mario 64 now for nearly 3 years, and like you get so invested into that because there are levels to it in terms of like beginner strats, intermediate, advanced, etc., how they put it. And with other games, it might be hard to kind of put that amount of investment into learning something so in depth with that.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed a big difference in terms of learning. If you want to learn a game, how to speedrun it, if you're learning a 2D game, it is infinitely easier. Like it is not even close to, and not because it's just less complex. There's one less entire dimension. You just need to have visual indicators on screen of where you got to jump, where you got to do stuff. Once you figure that stuff out, it's a lot more comfortable. Whereas if it's a 3D game, You've got to think, am I heading the right direction? Am I doing this? Do I have to move the camera? Like, there's no camera. There's no camera for most 2D games at all. So it's like that's instantly another thing you have to worry about. But so it's been good because like all the advanced stuff, like I love practice. As weird as this sounds, as like a speedrunner, I love practicing. I think it's so fun. If you can do it properly, like if you have a way to have a save state, whatever it is, and go back to it, it's great. I didn't really like speedrunning Mario 64 a lot until I got like Yusamune, until I got the practice ROM to reset levels and set a save state wherever I want from my controller. But once you can figure that out with a new game, it becomes so fun. It's just so nice to just do it over and over. That's what I think is really valuable about the Switch Online, being able to rewind. It's so handy for speedrunning. Still infuriating, but handy.
Oh yeah, of course. So another thing I wanted to talk about is your music. So obviously you've always been a musician, even right before the days of streaming. This goes back a long, long time, but there is a lot more involvement now with your music in terms of your streaming. So and you've got like over half a dozen singles and a full jazz album. And like, there's more of a promotion behind it now, which is amazing to see. So, like, tell us about how where the resurgence of like you putting out your music has come from.
So this might sound a little bit stupid, but it's from you. So
like me personally, or the audience?
From you personally.
Oh, well, thank you.
When I first started streaming, I would have my guitar hooked up, and I would have a little bit of a play before I started my stream, and then after that, things would go on, and then later I might do the credits or something or this and that. And then one random comment from you, like maybe a year ago, was like, "I miss when you had guitar on stream, man." And I was like, you know what? Me too. So I picked it up again, I restrung it, and I started playing offline. And I was like, damn, this is a lot of fun. And then for my work, I don't want to say specifically what I do, but we work a lot with AI. So I've been utilizing AI to help me because I don't have, as an adult who has a job and all that sort of stuff, married kid, I don't have a lot of free time to like go out and jam with my friends. So I've been using ChatGPT and other like audio programs to help me and be like, hey, what are drum loops that work around something in this time signature? What scales can I use in this key? As opposed to having to manually learn it, I'm still learning it because I have to practice and actually play it. But I've been using a lot of tools like that to help me make my own music because I have so many drafts of songs I just never finished, never put out. Couldn't figure out a way to make a good build up. I've even used it for mastering, which I was very impressed with. But yeah, I've been using a lot of those tools to help me create like the music I've always wanted to create, because I've always wanted to make like an album of like solo music, and be like, like an evening in with Logan, and they're like sitting by a fireplace, like the groan for me in every key, like that, but like with an actual person. I think it'd be hilarious. But yeah, and I have a lot of ideas for it, so it's been nice and really refreshing to see people like sort of support it. I don't want to flex or anything, but I think I have at least one monthly listener on Spotify right now. So that's pretty huge.
Well, honestly, man, that's incredibly touching. That's incredibly touching.
Yeah, but no, it was you that like brought me into doing it. And then as soon as I did it, and I was like, you know what? I want to record an intro for like the stream. And I started recording the music, and I was like, actually, why don't I just like record the song properly? And the first one I put out was like and I explained it in my post in the Discord to be like, hey guys, this song is about like speedrunning and like how it starts off calm and as you go more through the run. That was called Basement to Tippy. That was like the first song, and people got really into it. They're like, this is really cool. Like, I really like this. And I was like, that's really nice. When I first wrote it, I called it, what if Carlos Santana did cocaine? So it's like when I rewrote it a little bit and I put it out there again as something different, and like it gets a new meaning. Like, I'm trying to make sure all my stuff that I bring out now still like has an element of whatever I'm interested in. So like all of my song names are based around like speedrunning stuff, or strats or gaming or something. And it's been really good, man. Like, I've got so many ideas, but I'm not sure. I haven't decided if I want to like stop putting out singles and just wait and do an album and just finish the rest of it. Or if I just want to keep putting out singles, because I've liked it. I've liked just working on one song for a while, going bam, setting a date, and then GG's. Because like, again, it's not so serious for me, so I probably can do that. But yeah.
Oh, it's awesome.
All thanks to you, man. And it's been honestly like one of the most therapeutic things in my whole life. like lately. It's been real cool.
Well, that
So
means a
thank you.
lot, man. Because I had absolutely no idea, so that does mean a lot. And like, for those who don't know as well, since episode 50 of Behind the Camera with Andy Games, the full series, the music for the intro, outro, and also for the promotional materials that go onto social media, the music all written by Logan as well. So, you know, if you haven't seen it, definitely start checking it out from episode 50 onwards, and keep going and keep going and keep going. And yeah, but yeah, no, that's incredible, man. I love that. And I love the fact that, you are able to sort of use your kind of creativity to relate it to what you're doing, and it just kind of keeps coming and coming and coming. Because and with the jazz album as well, like I feel like it'd be remiss to not talk about that,
Yeah.
especially for how that came about, and the fact you're able to do it so quickly, having not been a jazz musician in your time.
Yeah, 100%. Like I believe if you're learning an instrument, it's good to learn as many styles as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really, when I first started, I played finger picking, and then I did like a bunch of other like weird stuff, and then like I went to move like dad rock, then it was like metal, then it was like hybrid picking and stuff like that. So I've always been able to play like jazz technically, but being able to use stuff to help me and be like, cool, here's my song idea. Here are the chords I know. What jazz chords can I use? What are the chord shapes? Show me. And then from there, it's just so easy. It's been so nice to
Yeah.
like have a vision and be able to make it come to fruition very, very easily. I love the idea that like there's a jazz album out there that exists, and I didn't even name it. I put out a thing to say, "Hey guys, I just released one of my like original songs," and I was like, "Guys, if you can make this my most listened Spotify song, my one monthly listener was losing their mind to hearing this. Like, oh my god." Um, I was like, "You can name the album. Put it in the comments." And "Grown for Me" in every key ended up coming out, because that's what I say when I like finish my Mario runs. I'm waiting for the groan so I can get the text box, grab the star. But yeah, it's honestly, there's at least 3 or 4 songs on there that I really, really like.
Mhm.
I like them all, but like they're like really catchy. I think I like Dustless Speed Kicks. Penguin Slide Shuffle, I think. Um, they're just like little catchy bops. It didn't have to be like super complex. I wasn't going to try and create like Polyphia style sort of jazz stuff. I
Mhm.
just wanted it to be simple, catchy, nothing too outlandish. And I'm very happy with it, man.
Yeah,
Honestly,
of course.
like it's definitely like background music that people can just turn on. Like I could picture it in like salons and shit. If they
Mm.
didn't want to be like, it didn't have curse names.
But what I liked about it as well is the fact that obviously you being a guitarist, you've almost had to add more of a digital element into the album in terms of like programming the keyboards, the drums, and
Oh
the bass,
yeah.
and obviously you'll play your own guitar and add that in as well. But it's so limited because of the amount of layers that go into jazz music. So I'm sure, like, what was the writing of that like a lot different in terms of like what you've done for all your other music?
Yes, so without a doubt. So anyone who is a musician, at least now in 2025, who makes your own music, especially if it's like metal or stuff, you're very familiar with using like drum machines and things like that if you don't have a drummer, because who has some guy who can like bring out a 20-piece kit and do blast beats in your garage while you practice? Like, it's people use drum machines, people use digital elements. So a lot of it was like the melodies and stuff. I still wrote them on guitar. I still wrote them. And I've got a MIDI tool which you can use, and you can set it to a different instrument. So I'll play a note on the guitar and it'll come out like a piano key. And someone's like, "You can play the piano," and I'm like, "No, no, I can't play the piano, my good sir. But I can make it sound that way." And stuff like saxophone and stuff. Doesn't work really well with guitar, like sliding and stuff. Obviously, you can't do on a saxophone, so it sounds broken. But there's a tool you can use in Logic where you can bring up a keyboard, like interface on your actual physical keyboard, and you just play the notes. So I'll put in the basic melody of it, and then all of a sudden it's cut and paste, drop and drag, make sure it all fits in just right. And because it's jazz, you can make it a bit sloppy, and people are like, "Oh, that's jazz." But yeah,
There
it
you go.
definitely was weird trying to like make songs where the guitar isn't the main focus. I
Mhm.
struggled a lot with that. Um, and my favorite song on there does have a guitar in it. But even so, like the main riff around it is on trumpets. And I was like, this sounds so cool. It sounds like a Joe Star. Sounds like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, like the intro. I'm like, oh, this is nice. It gets me hyped, man. I want to, watch anime or play Mario Kart.
Yeah, there you go. And the fact that like with the music as well, there is like something for everybody, which is kind of what you want out of putting out a musical album. So do you feel then, in terms of looking into the future, in terms of doing music, it's just a no pressure, I can just, if I decide I want to do something, I might, but unless like if it gets to the point where people are like, when's the next song dropping, sort of thing?
I would love that to be the case. If someone's like, oh my God, dude, I love this so much, I'm hanging for the next one. Everyone's been super positive and nice about what I've been putting out, especially because if a song's coming out, like I will film at least a part of it, me playing it and stuff, and edit it together with like camera angles to be like, hey guys, like this is really cool. I put a lot of effort into this. But there is no expectation. I only have one main goal, two goals with music. The first one is to finish the project I started when I first started doing music. So the thing that like got me back in even recording was saying, I want to do a song of every Mario 64 song. I still want to do that. I've got 3 done. 3 out of, I don't know, 15 or something. But not a lot that long. Like as you know, every level at least shares a song except Big Boo's Horn. So, and the Bowser levels, I think. Because I think the third one, Ultimate Bowser, with the 3 throws, I don't think that plays anywhere else because the Dark World song is different and so is Fire Sea.
Yeah.
But they're not levels, so that doesn't count. But yeah, I want to finish all the Mario songs, because then if I can't get a ROM hack made where I can put them in there, I can set them all as sounds on my Stream Deck. I can play New Samune with the music off and just push the buttons.
Yeah, of course.
I will play it with my own music if I have to. I don't care. And the second thing is to like put out eventually, even if I just do them all singles and I'm like, hey, here's all of them in one album, like just to say it's done. Those are the main goals. But yeah, there's no time frames for it. There's no nothing. There's no pressure. And it's been nice. I've got a song I'm working on at the moment, and I think it's mostly done, but it sounds like a dance song. So I don't know if I'm going to put it out or not. It comes off like a really cool riff, which I could play. But actually, you know what? Can I? Is that okay?
Of course you can. Yeah, go for it, man.
Okay. I don't know if it's going to translate. I know my wife's awake, so I don't really mind doing it. Give me 1 sec. I played it on stream, and someone's like, "I like this." I'm like, "Let's see if you like how it really sounds." But yeah,
let's hear it.
So this is on a classical guitar, which you guys might remember from
nice.
a different thing. I don't know if you can hear this. Can you hear that?
A little bit, yeah. It's kind of fading in and out, but
let's try this.
Yep.
Etc. But like, when you hear like a dance song and I'm like, oh, that would sound like a cool little build up. I have a whole thing based around that, and I'm like, that's really nice. And like, obviously it goes into the high register, and then guitar solo and synth, and Arsene Alexandria starts to jump out of the fucking closet and they go, hello Gov, like it all happens.
Well, honestly, man, I would say release it. Why not? Because if it's something creative that you're working on and you're already, I mean, disagree if you want, but you're already established as a musician as well as a streamer, and especially in this space. So why not? Like, I mean, especially if it's something that you enjoy doing and something that you've had fun writing, why not?
Yeah, there is one song I do want to put out, but I'm very scared to, and I might as well talk about it while we're talking about the music. I have a song I wrote about speedrunning, and it's literally called Reset, and I was going to release it on the day of the run at PAX to be like, hey guys, like, also check this out on the day. If you can't come, at least you can support me somehow. People will still watch on stream, not the point. But I didn't. I've asked the vocalist to do it, and I've sung the melodies, and I've gotten an AI voice to do it for now. And I was thinking about just releasing that version, but I don't know how I feel about having an AI singer on there. So that one's still a bit up in the air, but if it's for nothing, I don't think it really matters. Like my music's free, so I don't know. I have to think about that one a bit more. I might do the version and say just in brackets AI vocals, like just so
Yeah.
people are aware. I don't want someone to like hear it and go, "Oh wait." I mean, not anyone's going to care, but I will care. You know, little
I
things
know
like
what you
that.
mean. I know what you mean. Yeah. But either way, Logan, it looks like the future is kind of bright anyway. Like, you know, you've got where you want to be in streaming, you know, your music's taken off, and it just feels like a breath of fresh air with this no pressure kind of approach to things going forward, and it's honestly refreshing to see.
I'm glad to hear that, man. I'm honestly really happy with how things have turned out. In light of like recent events, it's been a bit rough, and I did
Mm-hmm.
feel a bit like, oh no. For again, I'm not going to get super into it. If you want to know about it, you should come join a stream. But I found out I had a very very parasocial viewer interaction. It wasn't a lot of fun, and it put me through some stress. But that sort of stuff comes with the territory. I think if you're putting yourself online, there's always the thought of, oh, you know, I might get criticized, I might get this, I might get that, but you never think someone's gonna go the total opposite and like really, really look up to you. So that's something like really new I've had to like deal with. But we learn from it. Everything's an experience. You know, if everything went smoothly, then if everyone would do whatever they want and dreams would be perfect, and you know, there'd be nothing in the world, everybody would be happy. But you know,
Exactly.
that's not the case, sadly.
No, that's it. That's it. Well, Logan, it has been an absolute pleasure having you back on Behind the Camera Quick Cuts. Very much appreciated. For those who are listening who do not already follow Logan, definitely give him a follow. Logaaaaan64 with 5 A's on all platforms. That'd be Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, you name it. I have been Andy Games, as always. This has been Behind the Camera Quick Cuts. Once again, thank you for Logan for taking the time to appear on the show. And we will see you again
Thank you for
with
having
another
me, man.
episode.
It's been a pleasure.
Oh, my pleasure at all. My pleasure at all. We'll be back again with another episode soon. Take it easy.